I'm excited about this topic. I'm excited about this topic because I spent so many years being overlooked, and it was painful in like an achy way. It's something that you can ignore it, honestly, if you want to. You can forget about how painful it is, but you live with it long enough and it just becomes this chronic frustration over, am I ever gonna get picked? It's like being, the how the kids picked teams back in the day. Whose idea was that, by the way? Do we still do that? Please tell me we don't do that anymore. That's so traumatic for everybody who gets picked last. But it's like you've got that line of kids and the two captains, and they're picking their teams, and then you're the one who gets picked in the middle or picked last or whatever. And it is just, it's so painful. It's so painful to not get picked. And then when we carry that pain of not getting picked into the workplace, being overlooked can be really, really triggering. That's why I'm excited to talk about it, because I learned, maybe the hard way, but I did learn that being overlooked is not necessarily a bad thing. It wasn't for me anyway. It felt bad, it hurt, but if I hadn't have been overlooked, I would have never, we'll get to that. Here's what I want you to know. You're most likely being overlooked because you are so good at your job. That's what no one's telling you. The people who aren't picking you, that's what they're not telling you. You're actually very, very good at your job. You're very good at what you do. And let me just say, I am so proud of you. You're doing so good at your job. So good at your job that you're not getting in trouble. Because that's the thing, right? Like, the people who do stand out are the sore thumbs, the ones who are getting in trouble, the ones who are not performing well. They're the ones who you're probably cleaning up after, if we're being honest. And then there's the other people who are seeing the shooting stars who come in with their big personalities, and a lot of times they're amazing people, but they come in and they just win everybody over so quickly, so effortlessly. And that can be frustrating, especially when you're sitting in a role. And I know I'm using work as an analogy, but it could be other environments too, of course. And we see these people come in with their winsome ways, their big personalities, and they win everybody over. And we're just like, what am I doing wrong? Like, my chopped liver over here. Everybody else is like getting seen. Everybody else is getting promoted. And I remember being in a work environment once where there was, we had a work retreat, and there was this panel of, it was like a Q&A kind of panel. And everyone on the panel was in the role that I was in. And there was this one woman who, she'd been on staff maybe 6 months. I was pushing 4 years at this point, and I thought, I literally thought in my chopped liver, I think, I really felt that way, and she's wonderful, and she was good at her job too. She answered all the questions great. It doesn't mean that she wasn't qualified for it. She was. But I've always wondered, like what gives? What's up with getting passed over all the time? Turns out it's dependability. When you're really good at your job, you don't get noticed. So my catalyst moment to no longer getting overlooked was a conversation that I had with a coworker who point blank asked me, like, why are you still in this role after 4 years? And it was a role that typically had about a 2-year cap on it. Typically people either got promoted or they moved on once they'd been in the role for about 2 years. I'd been in it for 4 years, and I didn't know what to say. And he made it very clear that he's like, you know, you're never going to get promoted. It's not going to happen. Like, stop waiting for somebody to pick you. Don't hate your mean friends. You need your mean friends. We need our mean friends. We need the friends who will tell us the dang truth. Anyway, like, what were my other friends doing? Nobody else told me that. And he was right. It was true. I wasn't ever going to get promoted. I wasn't ever going to get picked. No one was like, this isn't elementary school. We're not standing in line waiting to get picked to go next. You're not in line. I wasn't in line. That's what I was misunderstanding. I thought we just all do a really good job and we're in a line, and then next time we get to someone who's been there the longest and they've been standing in line the longest, then, you know, they'll get picked. And that's not how it works. That's how it works in elementary school, but it's not how it works in a professional environment. Turns out in a professional environment, you have to not just be good at what you do, but you actually have to say that you want to do it. People have to know you want to do it. Even if it's not like a employer-employee situation. I mean, even right now, how would you know what I want to do if I didn't get here and tell you? Like, that's literally what I'm doing. That's this. I'm telling you what I want to do. I want to take you from being overlooked into taking a seat of authority in whatever area you feel passionate about, whatever area you want to be seen in. That's what I want to help you do. But how are you going to know that I want to help you do that? How are you going to know that I'm able to help you do that if I don't tell you? Like, we actually have to say something. We have to speak up. This friend also challenged me that not only was I not going to get picked, he challenged me I may not even know what I wanted to do. He said, you need to figure this out. Like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be? Like, if it's in this company, look around. Like, what are the roles people are in that are attractive to you? What do you want to do? What do you think you'd be good at? What would you actually enjoy doing long term? And then let somebody know. Don't settle for doing this role for another year. What do you want to do? I sat with it for a while. I sat with it, I don't know, a couple of months before I decided what I wanted to do. And realizing what I wanted to do also made me realize why I had ignored what I wanted to do for so long. Because here's the thing. It's true. Being seen requires you to be seen. It requires you to say something. You have to tell somebody. What happens when you tell somebody what you want? Like go back to being a little kid. What happens when you go to your mom, you go to your dad, and you're like, Mom, I want something from the store. I want a toy. Can I have a toy? You know? What are you setting yourself up for? No. No. What are we setting ourselves up for when we approach someone in a professional environment and we say, this is what I want? I'm setting myself up for, I know, rejection hurts. I don't care how thick somebody claims their skin is, rejection hurts. Rejection hurts. But the thing is, like, we have to risk being rejected. There's no way around it, because back to an employer situation, if we keep sitting in a spot of being overlooked and we never risk getting rejected, what do we also not have? We don't have clarity. We don't have answers. Like, we actually need, look, if they were never going to promote you anyway, do you want to know that now, or do you want to know that a year from now or 10 years from now? Or like, when do you want to find out that this isn't going anywhere? You could find out quickly by putting yourself out there for something you actually want to do. You could set yourself up for getting promoted. By the way, I did say what I wanted to do, and I got to do it. It's a longer story for another time, but I did get to do what I really wanted to do, and I had a blast. I was there for 4 more years after that conversation I had with that friend, and the last 3 where I loved it. I loved it. I have never loved a job the way I loved that job for the last 3 years. So if you set yourself up for a yes, too, like they might say yes. Like if you want to get promoted, if you want to move up in your company, or if you want to be a thought leader somewhere, if you want to teach people something, like they might say yes. They probably will. If you're really good at your job, they're probably going to say yes. But again, let's just say they say no. Wouldn't you want to know now? So that you can make a decision and pivot and go, okay, well, if it's never going to work out here, then back to clarity. What do I want to do? I'm a person of faith, and I, as a Christian, as someone who walks by faith and lives by faith, okay, so it can seem a little prideful to go, well, I just want to be seen. Is it prideful to want to be seen? That's my question. Maybe. Like, it depends. It depends, because I want to present to you that it could be that staying in a position of being overlooked could also be coming from pride. But let me just lay this out. Okay. In Philippians, Paul is talking to the church in Philippi. He's talking to the Philippian church, and he's talking to them. There's this one part where he says, in any state that I'm in, I'm going to be content. I am content no matter the state that I'm in. So whether the state that I'm in is being overlooked, whether the state I'm in is being rejected, whether the state I'm in is being accepted and seen and a spotlight on me or whatever, those are the states that I'm in. Whatever state I'm in, I am going to be content. So being overlooked can feel like I'm content. Yeah, I don't want to complain. I'm content. You know what? I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for this job. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm content. And that could be true if you're not using that state to hide in. Because what if it's just a really big, scary world out there to be seen? If you put yourself out there, if you say, this is what I want to do, if you say, you know what, I want to write a book, if you say, I want to start helping people, if you say, I want to start a business, if you say, whatever it is, if you want to be seen, that is a big, scary world, full of acceptance for the people who need you and who see you for who you are, and full of rejection from the people who are threatened by you, or, I don't know, whatever people's reasons are for rejecting other people. I don't know. But it's a whole lot of unknown. It's something you've never done before, and that's scary. What do we think? What comes to mind first when you think of someone who is scared of how they might be seen? When someone gives concern to how they might come across, to how someone might receive them, to what other people think of them, that's a pride issue. Is it possible that staying in an overlooked place, it's like a Band-Aid on our pride? It's like it guarantees everyone will always like us forever. Because if we always show up and just keep being dependable and keep doing the thing and never putting our name in a hat, never putting ourselves out there, never making a YouTube video, like never giving people the opportunity to reject us, to say no, isn't that a comfy place where we just never experience rejection at all? Isn't that comfortable? I would argue that being overlooked does not equal humility, because if that were the case, then our character would be represented by the state that we're in, and state doesn't equal character. So if that was the case, then all poor people would have the same character, all rich people would have the same character, all married people would have the same character, all students would have the same character, because the state that you're in would define your character, right? So being overlooked is not a character trait. Being overlooked for some people might be an act of humility. Being overlooked for other people might be an act of pride. Really, only you know. If you're hearing this and you're like, yeah, I've been scared. Like, I want to step out, but that's scary. It might be pride. It might be pride. Welcome to being human. We all struggle with it. It's not an indictment, but it is a challenge. Thank you for letting me have your time. I know I've taken enough of it, but I want to leave you with this. You're not going to be seen by accident. You have to take a risk. You have to take courage. If you're a Christian, then I want to remind you that I believe it's the most repeated command in the Bible is don't be afraid. Take courage. Be courageous. Don't be afraid. Fear not. It's over and over and over and over and over. Fear not. Don't be afraid. Take courage. Your first step is clarity. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? And just think about it. Are you ready to take a risk? Are you ready to take a risk? Because if you are watching this, if you're hearing, this is like the end. So if you're hearing what I'm saying right now, you feel overlooked. If you feel overlooked, it's because you know there's something inside of you that you need to steward better. There's something inside of you that God put there that you might be the only one who knows it's in there, and you need to steward it well. To do that, you need to know exactly what it is, and you need to be willing to take a risk. So I want to challenge you to do that. I'm excited to keep this conversation going in other ways. This is something I'm really passionate about, and you're going to be hearing a lot more from me. You ain't seen nothing yet, friend. I'm excited. I don't want to say that to you, too. You ain't seen nothing yet. You don't even know what you're capable of yet. I believe in you. I'm proud of you. I'm excited to hear from you. And take courage, my friend. Have a great day.